I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. This topic comes from my 30+ years of business, sales, and freight moving success. Watch, learn, and apply it. You'll move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. And call me at 626-309-9141 with any questions. Now explode your business with...
Hello and welcome to my Tuesday training call. I'm Ted Keys, again your host and top freight sales training expert.
Today I'll show you how to move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly so you make more money financially. And after the call today, go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, to hear more of my podcasts, read more of my blog posts, watch more of my videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. And if you have any questions today, any questions regardless of what it is, or specifically, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training, then give me a call, Ted Keys. I'm at 626-309-9141.
My topic today is how massive action creates freight sales. How massive action creates freight sales. For those of you that are on my list and you've received a number of invites today to get on the call, just go ahead and scroll down to any one of those invites if you haven't already and print out those free attachments that I'm providing on today's call. Make sure you have those as you follow along with me. Those free attachments, they are free of charge when you get on my call. If you'd like to receive my weekly email to get on my call, just go to my website, tedkeysonline.com. In the upper right hand corner, just enter your contact info, and that allows you to not only get my invite on the call, but my free attachments as well. However, let's again talk about our training topic today, how massive action creates freight sales. How massive action creates freight sales. I'm going to start with two questions today. Two questions that pertain specifically to my topic today. The first question is, how badly do you desire to be successful in your freight business? How badly, how much do you want to be successful in your business? Have you set goals? Have you written down goals? Are you following my recipe for success in your Freight Sales Success Guide? Are you using that sales call information sheet that I provide in there? But again, my main question is, how badly, how high do you desire to become a successful freight sales agent or a freight sales broker? The second question is, at what level of action will you expend to get there? Let me say that again. What level of action will you expend to get there? You see, in order to become successful in this profession, I will not beat around the bush. I won't tell you that it's easy. I will tell you that in this profession, and to build any business whatsoever, you must expend a tremendous amount of action just to get off the floor. Why? Because unfortunately, nobody knows who you are. Now, I'm going to say this not in a negative way, but in this profession or whatever business you're attempting to build, you're a nobody. Nobody knows who you are. You must expend a tremendous amount of action just to get going and just to develop some treading on your tires, just to get moving with some momentum. However, Let me backtrack a little bit and start off by saying this, and that is most freight sales agents, unfortunately, they fail because they expend the wrong levels of action, and to truly understand action, I break it down into 4 categories. Action is broken down into 4 categories. First category, guys, is the action of doing nothing. The action of doing nothing. Well, that pretty much tells you what it is. When you do nothing, you're basically going to receive nothing. And what does that do? That results in you failing at whatever it is you're doing, especially if you're doing it in this profession. If you're just sitting there at your desk every day and not doing anything, that is the end result that you'll get. You'll get nothing. Second type of action is when you retreat backward, when you actually not only do nothing, but you actually retreat backward. And retreat backward means you're doing nothing for a reason. Doing nothing means that you've just given up, or you just become lazy and you don't care about it anymore. Retreating backward means you're purposely avoiding taking action to do something. You know, it's possible that somebody, a prospect gave you an objection that was way over the top or something like that. Or, somebody hung up on you and you basically said to yourself, I'm not going to do this, which means you're not going to do what's required to get ahead. That is retreating backward. Unfortunately, when you retreat backward, you get the same result. You fail and you get nothing. It's no different than doing nothing. Doing nothing, retreating backward, means that you're doing nothing, which means that you'll get nothing. Third type of action is when you expend an average amount. When you expend an average amount, just doing something that it's basically getting by. And when I say getting by, you're just barely making it. And when you're just barely making it, what that means is you're just barely making it and you're paying your bills. That's expending average action. And unfortunately, that's most of society. Because in this profession, in any business that you're building, most individuals, they expend these 3 types of actions. The 4th level of action is when you expend massive action. When you expend massive action. And today I'm going to talk about how expending massive action will create freight sales for you. Now, let's start at the beginning. The question I get repeatedly asked by most starting freight sales agents is, when do I start making money, or when do I start moving loads? Well, unfortunately, I don't have your answer for you, okay? And realistically, how should I know? How should I know what type of action you're going to take? Because as I said earlier, most individuals, they won't take action. They'll do nothing, they'll retreat backward, or they'll just do enough to get by. But unfortunately, I'm unable to answer your action because I have absolutely no idea how much action you'll take. Yeah, most freight sales agents, when they get going, they'll tell me, that they will do this, they will do what's required. But when it comes down to it and picking up this object here, this telephone, unfortunately, after they hit a few snags, have a few failures, they start retreating, they start doing nothing, or they do the amount that will get them by. Now, here's the answer. When I get asked this question continually, here's the answer that I provide for them, and that is, it all depends upon whether you take my freight sales tools. That's the first part of the answer. Will you take my freight sales tools? Basically, will you take them, read them, and apply them? The second part of that answer is, and will you take massive action to utilize those tools? The first answer, will you take my tools? That's the first part. The second part is, when you get my tools, will you expend massive action when you get them? I won't beat around the bush. It takes massive action just to get going in this profession. Only when you get going, then do people start knowing you. Then will they start referring individuals to you, provided you're doing a great job. But it's that massive action that's required just to get going. All right. Most starting freight agents, unfortunately, think, and they ask this question because most think, because they're working with me, that I've got this secret formula that I actually know just by working with me. I'm gonna, by osmosis, I'm going to, just by talking to you, that you're going to have success. All right. They actually think I have a secret formula. And here's the thing, I don't have a secret formula, all right? And not surprisingly, everybody's looking for that secret formula. And I'll be totally upfront and truthful with you. At some point several years ago, even I thought there was a secret formula. I looked around at individuals that were successful, not only in other businesses, but also in this profession. And I wondered, why are they so lucky? A very total overused word in our society today, to the point where it has a negative effect on you. Why? Because you think that to be successful, you have to have good luck. And that's just not the case. Nobody is lucky. If somebody is successful, it's because they've expended a massive amount of action to get there. So I'll say this right now, guys, if you think there's a secret formula out there, there is not, and by no means do I have a secret formula for you. Now, if I came up with a secret formula, it would be this. If I came up with a secret formula, it would be the more massive action you take, the more massive action you apply toward your freight business, guys, the higher the probability of moving more loads and making more money. The two are intertwined with each other. The two are directly related to each other. The more massive action you take, the more success that you'll receive as a freight sales agent. Now, what do I mean? You may be asking, Ted, what massive action do I have to take to become successful? The most important massive action that you must take is building your contact list. Building your contact list. Why is that so important? Because if you're spending your time and effort on other things that's not building your contact list, your business will go nowhere. Yeah, you may focus on, the neatness of your desk, or where your phone is on your desk, or getting all your folders in place and all your your compartments in place. But if you're not building your contact list, if you're not reaching out to the marketplace and getting attention from the marketplace, that's what we do. We reach out and we get attention. If you're not doing that and actually building your contact list, your business will go nowhere. And when you sign up for my training, and when you do a training call with me, you'll find out that that is the main thing that I focus with on my training call. It's how to effectively reach out to the marketplace, what to say to them, getting the main thing, which is their email address, and from there taking that information, putting it into your system, and building your contact list. If there's one thing you must take massive action with, it's building your contact list, or building your customer file or your prospect file. However you want to call it, that is the massive action that you must focus on. It's building the list of individuals that you will continue to talk to and follow up with on a regular basis. Once you start getting these rate requests, then all these other things, they fall into place. But if you're not even doing that, the load board you use doesn't matter. If you're not doing that, the telephone system that you're using doesn't matter. If you're not building your contact list, who cares about how many cubicles or how many compartments you have for each of your prospects? None of that matters if you're not massively taking action to build your contact list. One of the greatest sources of information that you can use in building your contact list is a form inside my Freight Sales Success Guide, which, by the way, is for sale in my Freight Sales Success Store. It's called the Sales Call Information Sheet. It has everything on there that you require to call up a prospect and start building a relationship with them, provided you get the decision maker's name. Everything that you require is on there. And yes, I designed that myself. So if you don't have it, make sure you get it. However, that's the most important bit of information that you require to build your business. And let me say it again. What does massive action mean? It means building your contact list. Plain and simple. Let me say this again. What massive action means is to multiply your actions 10 times, all right? 10 times what you actually think is required. So if you feel that getting 3 contacts on your list every day is sufficient, then multiply that by 10. If you get, or when you get 30 contacts a day, you are just rolling along. And in no time, by your third or your fourth day, you will have folks contacting you. Hey, can you give me a rate on this? Can you give me a rate on that lane? Whatever it is, the more individuals that you are communicating with, the higher probability you will be moving loads and earning money from the service of moving those loads. That is what massive action is. It's taking 10 times the action of what you think is the norm. Let me simplify this. If you haven't understood what I've said, let me simplify this a little more, or simplify it even more. What massive action, or 10 times the normal amount of action, is it's disciplined, consistent, and persistent actions. Those are the determining factor in creating your freight sales success more than any other combination of actions. So, what does that mean? It means as you build your contact list, as you continue to build it, what you have to do is you have to take consistent, disciplined, and persistent action in doing that. Don't just do it for a week and then start falling off. Do the same amount day after day after day after day. Now, you may not want to do that. Well, if you don't do it, how is your contact list going to build? Is it going to build itself? No, it's only going to build itself. It's only going to build by you adding to it. And as you do it, I'll say it again, you've got to do it with discipline, you've got to do it consistently, and you've got to be persistent about it. You've got to apply these 3 forms of action into building that contact list. That's the first thing. But if I could even simplify it even more, I would say this: understanding how to calculate, all right, understanding how to calculate and then take the right amount of action is more important than your business concept, the idea that you have, the invention, or even the business plan that you've made. Everything requires what I just went over to start. Let me say that again. Everything that I just talked about, it's all required for you to start. But it's only the start. What I just talked about is what you have to do after that. See, here's the thing. I learned this a long time ago. So many individuals, they come up with an idea for a product, an idea for a business, an idea for a system. Let me say this, guys, that is the easy part. In return, they think because they've come up with this idea that, boy, everything from now on is going to be easy because they've got this idea. Putting everything together, putting your product together, putting your system together, putting your service together is the easy part. Becoming a freight agent, that is easy. Actually reaching out to the marketplace and letting the marketplace know who you are, that is the most challenging part of growing any business. And that's why I say that's the massive action that you must focus on. That's it. That's basically it. Think of what it is. Hey, I've got to reach out to the marketplace, let the marketplace know what I do. Whatever your mindset is, multiply that by 10. That is what's going to get you to success. Not which load board I'm going to use, not which system I'm going to use, not which trainer I'm going to use. What's going to get me to success is taking massive action and letting the marketplace, reaching out to the marketplace and letting them know what I do. That is going to get you success when you let more and more and more and more individuals know what you do. Everybody, as I talked about earlier, those 4 levels of those 4 degrees of action, everyone utilizes those 4 degrees of action at some time in their lives, and especially in response to the different areas of their lives. I mean, think about it. If you played sports, you expended a certain amount of action to become successful. If you went to college, or when you went to college, you had to expend a certain amount of action to become successful in earning the degrees, not the degrees, but the grades that you received. How about getting married? That took effort in finding a mate, planning a wedding, and starting a life together. How about raising kids? That took a tremendous, it's taking a tremendous amount of action to do that correctly and efficiently and effectively. Starting a freight business, I'll just say it again, that takes a tremendous amount of action. And when it comes to your freight sales future, I'll say it again, you won't succeed by building your business and doing nothing. You won't succeed building your business by retreating backwards. You won't succeed by just doing enough to get by. That is not success. And unfortunately, those 3 levels of action are what most agents and brokers do in this profession. Why? It's because they're easy. I mean, that's the easy road, but you're only getting back what you're putting into it. It's because doing nothing, and let me say this, by doing nothing and retreating backward and just getting by, they all lead to failure. Getting by is a form of failure. If you're just getting by, you can't count that as success. It's either successful, or you're either succeeding or you're failing. If you're in those 3 categories of actions, guys, you're failing. If you're not taking massive action, then you're headed to failure. If you're taking massive action, when you take massive action, one day, eventually, you will become successful. Now, those 3 categories that I talked about earlier, is that what you want? I mean, is that what you're truly looking for? Only you can answer that, guys. You're the determinant of where you want to go. But if not, if that's not where you're headed, that's not where your goals are that you wrote out when you first started in this profession, if not, then take massive levels of action. Not only massive levels, but 10 times, again, what you think is the norm to get your freight sales business moving. And when do you do that? Start doing it today. Start doing it today. Guys, again, how massive action, what I just talked about, that massive action, that's what's going to create freight sales in your freight sales business. Hey guys, thanks again for joining me on my Tuesday training call. Been a pleasure talking to all of you. Join me again next week, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time on my Tuesday training call. Take care. God bless you all. I'll see you all again next week. Bye-bye.
When you arrive at my Freight Sales Success Store today, you'll see a host of products available there for purchase. First one you'll see available is my flagship product. That is my Freight Sales Success Guide, typically for beginner and struggling freight agents. If you're searching for that daily motivation to set goals, to achieve them, to pick up the phone daily and connect and build relationships with the marketplace, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Quotes. And if you're searching for those specific skills, and there are many skills, many individual skills required to be successful in this profession, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Skill. I highly recommend each one of these products, available for purchase today in my Freight Sales Success Store. Do you have any questions again? Do you have any questions about today's call? Or more importantly, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training, then give me, Ted Keys, a call. I'm at 626-309-9141. Great topic for today. Take these skills, apply them. You'll be amazed at what happens to your results.